Hello and a warm welcome to you all. I'm Vikas Nangia with another edition of Face to Face. Ladies and gentlemen, in the very beginning, I want to wish all the parents out there happy Father's Day. Now, to mark this special day, we have with us incredibly talented author in our studio. His debut book, Raising a Father, is exceptionally doing well all across United States. Matter of fact, throughout North America, we have with us ArjunSen. Arjun, welcome to TVAsia. It's indeed a pleasure to have you over here, and happy Father's Day.
Thank you, Vikas, and happy Father's Day to you too. And I wish all parents a happy Father's Day.
Raising a father, a phenomenal subject to touch on this, on this occasion. Tell us about the book, Raising a Father.
This book was written just for my daughter. This was a Christmas gift for 2007, and as I wrote this, initially I called it Raising a Daughter, because I thought, being a single dad, I was very proud of my accomplishments. And as I started going through the book, or it was maybe halfway through, I realized that it wasn't the daughter that needed to be raised. It was the goofball dad who needed to be raised. And that made me appreciate the patience, the love our children have for us, and that's what reached out to me and helped me evolve as a dad.
You are the single parent. So is this that the book came out of that?
The book did, but to take responsibility, somebody doesn't become a single parent overnight. Okay, it's the things that you do that cause you to be a single dad. One of the manifestations of this was my daughter, who is 16 now, going on 17. We were cleaning her room, and there would be a part of the closet she would not let me touch. And of course, me being a curious dad, I have to get there. And I realized that's the part where there are pictures of her with her mom and dad all hidden there. And to me, that's what was shocking to me. Was I came from India with $320. Okay, most of us have stories exactly like that. How could I go from there to a point where my daughter today has to hide her true identity? And that's exactly the reason I decided that, hey, it's about time, come out, talk about the story, so that way every one of us out there, every one of you out there realize that this is one of the most important things we need to invest in.
So it's all about, the book is all about investing in a relationship. It's all about your journey, wherein you're sharing about your bonding between a father and a daughter. You clearly talked about about this book. Now tell us about how did this all started. What was that turning point in the life that you thought of putting it in a book format?
It happened by accident. Okay, and I think most of you can relate to this. Was the day after 9/11. I was working in a corporate job where my days used to be 12 to 18 to 20-hour days. On September 12th, my daughter and myself, we were forced to sit next to each other with nothing else happening.
Forced?
Because nobody's taking my calls. I have no work meetings to go to, so I'm home, and you would have never seen me on that particular day at home. My daughter sat next to me. She put her little head on my shoulder, just like a business meeting, and I'm always used to asking the question, hey, how are we doing? If you and I are working together, because that's the easiest way to have a conversation, and you say, good, end of discussion. In this case, the little child said, not good. And that started a discussion where she said, Dad, we are not doing too good because you don't know me. To me, I did not understand how much pain a family member needs to feel or feels to say, Dad, you don't know me. So I tried to be a typical man, and I tried to argue with her by saying, no, I know you. When she gave me these three questions: Dad, who is my best friend? What's the most fun thing we have done together? And finally, what's my favorite restaurant? The last part is very important because all my career has been in restaurants, and at that point of time, I'm the VP of Marketing and Operations for Papa John's, and interviewing with McDonald's and Domino's for worldwide jobs. And if I pause for a second, I would ask every parent who is listening to write down the answer to these three questions, and then you verify with your children and give yourself the grades. And this is a safe test because your grade would be better than mine because I got 0 out of 3. Okay. I had no idea who her best friend was. No point trying. Of course, I thought her favorite restaurant had to be Papa John's. And Raka, that's my daughter's name, Raka said, no, Dad. My favorite restaurant is Applebee's because they give us the free balloon. I'm like, oh, and now I get it because I would come back from meetings and I see all these balloons up there. But the toughest thing was the most fun thing we have done together. I kept thinking because there are things like Kentucky Derby, which is a $5,000 ticket, or getting a skating rink all for my daughter. You know, those are big deal, man.
Absolutely.
Those are $4,000 deal.
Absolutely.
So I picked, the skating rink. My daughter, instead of answering, said, Dad, before I tell you the answer, and she's my daughter, okay, she says, Dad, do you remember before we went to the skating rink, you canceled 3 times? 2 of the times, your assistant called, and I was already near the door. And the day we went, you were on the cell phone all through. Every time I went around, you waved at me. All of a sudden, you stood up, looked at me, and you were on the phone. You just whisked me out. Dad, that was not fun. So I said, so what was fun? I was very upset. She said, when you come to school, without telling me, pick me up, take me to McDonald's across the street.
She loves that surprise.
For a 99¢. And I'm thinking, where did I go wrong? Okay, this child thinks a 99¢ McDonald's ice cream is better than a 4,000. And I guess the last part of the lesson was still left. I'm not pointing fingers at anybody, but most of us know politicians and business folks, some business folks, realize in a crisis there's only one thing you do. You defer the crisis. So I did the same thing. So I lied to my daughter and says, hey, baby, I'll spend more time with you. I knew she wanted to go from Kentucky to Denver. I set all these promises. When I can visualize she walking up to me, she poked me on my chest and says, Dad, I love you. Don't lie to me. If you wanted to take me to Denver, what were you doing interview in Detroit or Chicago? And that was the defining moment for me. I kept thinking back that my grandmother raised me with incredible amount of values in Calcutta. I came to US with $320. Where have I come to that I am shamelessly lying to my daughter? And the only reason I have stopped is because, one, she walked away and I was ashamed for the first time. And I could see that by the time I'm 60, 70 years old, I'll be on 101, who's who. Sorry, to brag for a second. I'll have obscene amount of money. But twice a year, I'll get a phone call from my daughter. And those calls would be, Dad, Raka, that's it. Because I don't know anything about her. And that's the part where the book starts, because I quit cold turkey with no plan, because I realized anything is better than this plan.
Sure.
And that's where the journey starts.
That's clearly what it is about, investing in a relationship. I'm sure as Arjun expressed his emotions and feelings with all of us, it's very clear that this could be the story of your house as well, your home, your family as well. We'll take a short break here over here and be right back after these messages. And after the break, we'll continue talking to ArjunSen on this great day, Father's Day. Welcome back. You're watching Face to Face, and today we have with us on this great Father's Day, we have with us the author of a phenomenal book, Raising a Father, ArjunSen. Arjun, once again, welcome to TVAsia. A great discussion you shared about how the journey of writing this book began. What were those turning points in your life that you thought you want to express those emotions in a book format and share with all people? Perhaps they can all relate to it. Now, many of those things that when you were talking about, that you took your child, or perhaps the questionnaire that your daughter had put in front of you, the 3 questions, many of these things that when we neglect, our kids, when we take them around for a movie or to a skating rink, the way you took your daughter and you were still on the telephone, many of times the plea that we as parents give is, it's all that I'm doing is for the family. I'm investing the money that I'm earning. Now, is this plea a good? Is this a good reason?
How about we let the audience decide? Okay, let's give them two scenarios. You are interviewing me, and I just do. Hey, Vikas, hold on for a second. Okay, it's very important. Yeah, I'm listening to you, Vikas. Keep saying. How do you feel? You don't feel good about that. You feel that at this point you are number two in this conversation. The second part is I just take something out of here. This is a gift, amazing gift I got for you. You have no value for that. Okay, isn't the best gift the gift that Arjun has got for you, that only you want, and it makes you feel great? To me, more and more I've talked to my daughter, I realize there's only one thing she wants. Dad is present all the time, anytime she can access it. That's all. I had an amazing discussion exactly on that note. I was coming back from Grand Rapids. This man talks about how he travels 12 out of 14 days. And the reason he's doing that is because his daughter can now learn piano from the world's best piano teacher and perform at an amazing concert. The question I asked is, have you ever asked your daughter whether that's what she wants, or she wants an extempore concert in the living room where you move the furniture, where Dad and Mom are the two only people on the audience, and Dad goes crazy when the performance ends. Just like I went crazy when I watched an Amitabh Bachchan movie. It's the same way. Dad goes crazy and whistles, and the child blushes. What is it the child wants? So many a time I think, this is the same mistake I made so many times is that I put it on my daughter instead of me wanting. I'll give you a great story. Again, the book is not that serious. Okay, the book is about a lot of stories, and most of the fun is because the mistakes are what I make. Okay. I started coaching my daughter's soccer. In the middle of this game, this is my brother is visiting from India. This is like a grand finale. Even Maradona could not plan a exit strategy like this. Uncle is visiting from India. Raka, 8-year-old, is playing. The ball comes from the left. Raka, instead of stopping, moves her leg. The ball goes to the corner of the net. She comes out and says, "Dad, I'm done." I thought she's done means she needs a break. This is in the middle of the game, and I'm the coach. She said, "No, Dad, I'm done with soccer for good." As we talked, I realized that the only reason she plays soccer is because that's the only time Dad gives to her. So she's willing to do anything. And then I asked her, and she said, "I never liked soccer." So my moral of the story was, if I like soccer, I should go and join a club and play soccer, not blame it on my child. And that's the part where, again, I have done this. I put my daughter in swimming, this, that, tutor, the list goes on. And finally, when I asked her one day, "Are you having fun?" She said, "Fun is not scheduled." On the other side, I think back when I grew up in Calcutta, we used to play soccer every evening till it became dark. You did it in Delhi.
Absolutely.
Those were the times. For you, it must have been cricket. So those were the most fun moments we had. And in this process of multitasking and trying to make my daughter a combination of Einstein and Mozart, there's no fun in this whole process.
So clearly, it's all about the value or how expensive the gift is. That doesn't matter. It's at the end of the day feeling, and it's all about how close. Even the cheapest gift can do wonders. But the fact here is that you have to express your emotions and give your best time to the family. Now, in the midst of the fact, when we are talking about this, we all as immigrants, when we come to this part of the world, we want to